Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It's Tuesday night, so it's time to talk some karate. So, gonna get into some Cobra Kai Season 2, Episode 6. Take a right. And I've seen it a couple times now, and I have no idea why episode is called Take a Right. But that's what it's called, that's what it is, so that's what we're gonna go with. This week opens up showing Mr. Miyagi first creating the landscape Miyagi-Do, and it then transitions into the torn up, devastated shambles the quiver turned it into. We see straight away that those left in the quiver are not getting away with it, though, because Johnny is not having it. Whether they were in on the caper or not, they are made to do up downs until the point of nearly puking. Johnny's not having it. He's telling them Cobra Kai is not going to be like that anymore. That's not the way of it, and that's not how we get down. Just to let everybody know out there, Andy's not going to be with us tonight. He's got some family in town, so hopefully he can be back with us next week. But we're going to keep it moving, just try to stay on track for that Season 3 opening date. So we're going to try to keep that going. But Johnny's trying to teach the lesson that this is no longer the way at Cobra Kai. Little does he know that, it's basically his fault that all this happened because, of course, he's the one who brought Kreese back around. And Kreese, of course, is no good. And it seems like everybody in this show seems to know it except for Johnny. I don't know what his deal is, just old school, too many like old school loyalties or something, thinking of the past. But of all people, and they even say it later, of all people, you should realize, just don't do it. That guy's no good. And when they're doing the up downs and Hawk sees everybody else is getting punished pretty much for what he did or what Kreese put into his head to do, Hawk wants to come clean, but Kreese kind of gives him the eye and kind of a hint to stay quiet. And then Johnny gets a call and has to leave immediately. And unfortunately, this means leaving the quiver all to Kreese. And that's never going to be good when Kreese is in charge. You just know bad things are going to happen. But back over at Miyagi-Do, and 3 just isn't enough to lift this massive rock stone that has never been knocked over before, but it's down now. And while the other 3 students enrolled at Miyagi-Do are epically failing at getting this stone stood upright, a handful of new recruits show up and walk on the scene. So looks like Miyagi-Do is expanding their lineup, which nothing wrong with that. That's going to make Daniel happy since that seems to be the only thing he cares about. Oh, Daniel just cannot let go of a grudge, man. 30 years later, beautiful wife, got the house, got a great family, and just want to get wrapped up in this old school rivalry. Let it die, man. Get on with your life already. But Robbie has some issues with the new newbies, and seeing how, like, a couple days ago, they were just brawling it out at the mall. And I don't know, is Robbie right to be a little bit leery of these new students? Chris did come in and apologize. Shouldn't that be good enough? But yeah, Robbie's not feeling it at all. He's not having it. Young teenage boy that just got in a fight with these kids. How could he possibly be over it? So you can't be too mad at Robbie for that one. But Dimitri gives another GOT reference in this one, and Daniel instantly turns it around on him. And that's 2 GOT references in as many weeks. You got to love that from a GOT crowd out there. Still giving it up to the Game of Thrones. Of course, this show was made years ago, so maybe not quite the same, but maybe only a year ago for season 2, I guess. But next we find out who it was that actually called Johnny. It was one of his old pack, and he's in the hospital dying of some terminal disease. And side note, am I the only one who was tripping on how old all these cats looked? Like, these guys are the same age as Johnny, but look old enough to be his dad. I was kind of tripping on that. I was like, I understand, this is old school and we're taking it back, but man, these men just do not look young. So I was kind of tripping on that. That kind of took me out of it. Is it just because they were bald and Johnny still had his blonde locks? It could be, but man, them cats just looked at least 20 years older than Johnny. But Johnny finds out he was called there to help give his buddy one last wild night to go out on, and he's a little tentative, but decides to go along with it. And then all of a sudden he hears his friend's machine flatline and fears the worst. It's like, did you guys think that he was actually dead? Like, oh my God, Johnny just gets there and he dies while he's there. That would have been kind of a trip. But no, the cat just pulled it off and he's like, let's get the hell out of here. So it looks like they're in for a wild night and one last wild ride before he takes that long trip goodbye. Back at Cobra Kai, and the quiver is about to lose it. Chubbs even asks if it's okay to puke, but Aisha's like, oh, hell no. It's just like, do not puke. But what was up with Tori with a Y, blaming shit breath on that? And even more so, what was he thinking challenging her to a fight? By now, they all have to know that she's the champion's girlfriend. You really want to go in there talking smack to her? That just that guy doesn't seem too smart. And I wonder if, because Kreese is going to break off and do his own dojo. I wonder if when Hawk goes, that shit breath kid will probably go with him. Like that'll probably be like Kreese's first two students or something. I can definitely see that happening. But the quiver's at its end and wants to figure out who the culprit is, but Kreese comes up with a clever way to kind of ease the tension and tells them that they're all one. When one acts, they're all responsible. It was very Three Musketeers of them, I thought. But yeah, then it kind of works out and they all kind of get it, and then they all quit asking who did it and kind of just deal with the punishment as one. So that part worked out. Kreese definitely knows how to manipulate an entire crew, especially a bunch of kids. But back to Miyagi-Do, and Daniel's telling the wifey he's going to miss another sales meeting. And for something important, the wifey didn't seem to appreciate that fact that he's calling something else more important than her and their dealership. I mean, this could definitely become a problem in the future. The wifey's kind of feeling like she's getting put in the back, and probably helps that Sam's actually a part of it. But still, I don't know. The wifey's not going to be putting up with this Daniel stuff too much longer, I don't think. She's going to be putting her foot down, since she is about one of the only voices of reason in here. But funny, the something more important is Dimitri's wrath. Oh, they're back outside, and Dimitri and the kid Dimitri and Chris are not getting along at all. And it was funny that the something more important is Dimitri's mouth writing another check that his ass can't cash. He's just out there talking too much smack for a little guy. I mean, I know he's got Sam and Robbie there to back him up, but he's just got to learn not to run that mouth when you just cannot back it up, I think. To chill out. You're already not an unlikable character. It's like you're not making anything better for yourself. But Daniel comes up with another huge Hollywood trope of making the boys work together to lift the stone, and I don't know, I guess they're gonna overcome their adversity, and I just thought this was a lame Hollywood trope. Like, you guys are gonna work together and get that thing up. It's like they couldn't get it up with three people, but now all of a sudden Big Chris comes in, and you already know who's gonna end up doing most of the lifting on that deal. But out to the choppers, and the old crew, and I do mean old, is getting ready to hit the road, and they're going to hit it hard on some hogs, and all I could think of is this guy's like all sickly and weak with his deadly cancer, whatever it is, some terminal disease. Like, how's he even going to hold on to that bike riding? That's all I could think of. Like, he's basically laying in there in bed and too weak to do too much of anything, but now he's going to go out on a road and like hold up a hog for who knows how many miles. I don't know, I thought that was kind of wild. But it's a go as they all pull up their skeleton mask and take off on the journey. And I don't know, live or die, I guess they're going out for one big bang no matter what. And I like how they all had their like sleeping bags on the back of their bikes. Like, they just pulled this man literally out of his deathbed. They're just going to go camping and sleep on the cold, wet ground. I'm like, that's going to end well. I was like, come on, man. You're not even going to get this man into a hotel. They're literally just taking off with sleeping bags on the back of their bikes. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Oh, just too much. But so into the predictable road trip, they got the 80s montage going on, and they're flashing back and forth between the foursome then and now, riding their bikes when they were younger and now that they're like 90. And we even get the cheesy high five while they're driving down the middle of the road. And I don't know. This is supposed to be like the cool, yeah, we're back together, let's do it. And I was like, what another cheesy Hollywood trope. That one kind of took me out of it a little bit. But they stop off at a little biker bar out by Big Bear Lake. And while we're living some old times and laughing through memories, it slips out what really happened between Johnny and Allie. He got drunk with the boys and missed her birthday. Like, oh, she must have really reamed you out for that one. Like, hey, yeah, she dumped me. So it's kind of harsh here, and that's how it happens. So now we know alcohol has been a bad part of Johnny's life. It made her lose his first girlfriend. It made him not be there for basically his son's life. It's like, man, we got to get Johnny back on track. But next, Johnny tells the fellas that he's reopened Cobra Kai, and none of them look too happy about it at all. Johnny also tells them that Kreese is back, and they like hearing this even less. But Johnny insists that people change and things are heading in a different direction at the new Cobra Kai. And Tommy just wants to change the subject, and he's like, let's go play some pool. But back over at the actual Cobra Kai dojo, Kreese is teaching the Quiver the OG ways of Cobra Kai, and Miguel can't help feeling like this just all feels a little bit off. And back over at Miyagi-Do, things have a whole different vibe. Daniel's trying to unbrainwash his new students. And how great was that when Danny asked, like, when Dan asks what karate means, and the tiniest little kid there just spews out the Cobra Kai motto. That was one of the best parts of the whole scene or the whole episode. Strike hard, strike first, no mercy, sir. Like little tiny dude. I thought that was awesome. And no. What's the meaning of karate? Don't be a pussy. I was like, yeah, that was definitely one of the best scenes in this whole episode. I liked it. But Robbie's still not buying the whole "we want to change" excuse, and he says people can't change how they feel. But Sam's kind of looking at that and kind of taking it a whole different way. Like she's kind of applying that to him and her, and I don't know. It looks like Sam's starting to truly catch some real feels for old Robbie. We already know they made out, but yeah, I don't think she's just over it like she's acting. But Dimitri, smartass, thinks he has the right idea on how to lift the rock, but soon we find out that he's not quite as smart as he thinks he is, and he also lets his mouth write another check his ass can't cash, and he finds himself on his tush real quick. Robbie's instantly over there saying, "See, I told you, once Cobra Kai, always Cobra Kai." But Daniel lets out a little secret. He drops the bomb that's just not true because he actually used to be Cobra Kai too. And all the little kids are like, oh. I actually forgot about that. What was that? Karate Kid 3 when he became Cobra Kai because he wanted to get back into tournaments. So that was pretty classic. But back out to the biker bar, and Johnny also tells the boys that Kreese is back, and whoops, got back in there. So he had already told them that Kreese was back, and he told them that people change. They're not feeling it. And without even seeing it, like, these guys, none of these guys have even seen Kreese, but just by Johnny telling them that, all of a sudden they just know, like, they're like, dude, you got the worst of it all. What are you doing? Like, none of them believe that Kreese has changed. Like, they all seem to know he's messed up. And they're like, why did he allow himself to fall for Kreese's crap? Like, when he took the worst of it, he should have known more. And all these guys know, so I don't know. Just because he saw him in like a bad place, now all of a sudden he's just going to let all that stuff be forgiven. And he forgave him pretty darn quick, too. He, like, fixed his little trophy up and said sorry, and bam, Johnny was all in. Johnny just needs a friend, and Danielson won't be it. He's just got to be his, like, mortal enemy. So, yeah, poor Johnny just needs a friend. But Tommy says, let's play some pool, and the other two seem like they know sooner or later Kreese is going to be trouble. Will they be there to help Johnny when Kreese eventually turns on him? Because inevitably, Kreese is going to turn on Johnny. So those two were kind of sitting there looking at him. It looks like the two might end up. That'd be kind of cool if Johnny gets in a little predicament with Kreese and those two actually end up coming to his rescue later. That would be pretty tight. But lo and behold, there's some asshole by the pool tables, and big shocker, the boys get into another Hollywood trope. They got to have a big bar room brawl. Time to watch some old men relive their youth with some good old Hollywood trope bar brawl action, and for some old timers, the boys actually seem to still have it. Like, they were still pretty limber and getting some kicks in. I was kind of impressed with that. Even the guy from his deathbed got a good punch in. But I didn't really like how Johnny had to smash that glass in that man's face. Like, they seem to be doing all right without all that. And I know there's really no rules in fighting, but I don't know. That don't seem like cheating. I was like, Johnny, you guys got this handled. You don't think you need to smash a glass in this dude's face. I thought that part was a little over the top, but what are you going to do? It is what it is. Cobra Kai style. Back at Miyagi-Do, and the confessional's going on, and Daniel's coming clean about his days at Cobra Kai, and don't be like me, kids. The lame little speech seems to work well enough, though, and the kids try harder to get along, and I don't know, that was a little messed up. But back over at Cobra Kai, Miguel tells Tori with a Y that today's lesson was crazy. She says not really, and tells a little sob story of her own on how the world's not fair. And that story seemed to make me think even more that I think Tori with a Y is 100% absolutely Kreese's daughter. This is all an elaborate setup that Kreese has going on, and yeah, bad things are going to happen. But back at Miyagi-Do, and hey, teamwork. Danny's boys' speech seems to have worked, and like how he's all see if we all work together as a team, anything's possible. And what team? Like, it seems like Chris did most of the lifting there with me. Like, he had a little bit of help from the weakling Dimitri, but everybody else just stood around. It seemed like Chris did most of the lifting on that. But hey, teamwork. I don't know why, but it kind of bugged me that only Johnny and Tommy were there at the campfire. Like, when they were at that scene, the camera panned over all four bikes. Like, they're all there, but it just had the two of them sitting there in the scene. Like, I don't know, that whole scene, instead of listening to those two, I was like, where are the other two guys at? I don't know why that took me out, but it kind of did. I was like, were they just too cheap to pay the actors for the extra conversation? Or are we just supposed to like zone in on Johnny and Tommy? I don't know, that was messed up. But we found out another big secret, that Tommy was also in love with Allie with an eye, and that's why he joined Cobra Kai, to learn how to grow the balls like Johnny had, and without the smell, of course. It's like, I don't know if we needed that line. But I don't know, that just took me out of it too. I was like, how did he know what Johnny's balls smelled like? Like, that was kind of messed up. But Tommy gives Johnny some sage advice, and it seems like it's his swan song speech, and he tells Johnny that he has the most important thing left of all, time. And kind of giving us the feeling that his is rapidly running out, the way he was talking. I'm like, this man is not going to make it through the night. Plus, like I said, out of his deathbed, getting ready to sleep on this cold-ass wet ground, it's like, that's not going to work out good for anybody. But back at Cobra Kai, and Miguel seems to have fallen for it, and whatever it is. And like I said, I'm now more convinced than ever that Tori with an Y is definitely Kreese's daughter. Like, that little smirk that Kreese had at the end, that solidified it for me. I'm like, that girl is that man's daughter. But back out to the campground, and just as it seemed, Tommy didn't make it through the night. And however, the other two have reappeared and make a desperate call for like the EMTs. But alas, it was too late. Tommy was already gone. Put him in a body bag, Johnny. The episode ends with like another montage switching back and forth between Kreese teaching his own brand of Cobra Kai while Miyagi-Do practices the kata. And all while Johnny and company mourn the passing of their friend, and the song "The Show Must Go On" jamming in the background. And this was actually a pretty good ending to the episode. I liked it. It was pretty tight. But how is the passing of his friend going to influence Johnny moving forward? What's up, Jay Cruz? I see you out there. Samuel Morningstar, welcome, welcome. But yeah, just like, how is the passing of Tommy going to affect Johnny? Like, he seemed pretty messed up over that. Like, that was his good buddy, and he's gone. And God, probably just looking at him was tripping him out. Like, man, I am not young anymore. He just told me I have time to like find somebody else. I better get on that. So is he going to hook up with like Miguel's mom, or is he going to find somebody new going to jump into it? Or is Kreese just going to get in the way and mess everything up before he has a chance to find anybody and just get on? Like I said, Johnny he just needs a girl or a friend or something. He just needs a friend. That man would be so much better in life if he just had a buddy like he could count on. And it sounds like what they showed us ever since he was a little kid, he never had any friends. So, poor widow Johnny. Oh, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why the notification didn't go up. But, yeah, this been rocking this one for 18 minutes. We're about ready to knock this one out and be done with it. Andy couldn't be here tonight because he's got fam in town. But, yeah, I just had to want to get this on and keep it going so we stay on track for that Season 3 premiere. But yeah, I don't know. I think we definitely got some questions put off in this one. Again, I'm more sure than ever that Tori with a Y is Kreese's daughter. Kreese is definitely up to no good. I don't think he's going to start his own dojo. I just think he's going to try to take over Cobra Kai. It's like Cobra Kai's mine, and that's that. I'm taking it back. So I think Johnny's going to be the one that's going to have to start up a whole new dojo. And it kind of seemed like that's what they were saying when their friends were all in the bar with them. Like, what'd you name? Like, he asked him, what'd you name it? He's like, I named it Cobra Kai. And it was like a gut punch to the whole crew sitting at that table. So I think that's just kind of letting us know that Johnny needs to let the whole Cobra Kai thing go and just start over fresh and anew. So I think that's what's going to happen sooner or later. I don't think he's going to – I think Kreese is going to get Cobra Kai back, and Johnny's going to start up anew something else. He's going to have to. Because, yeah, just let that evil die. Johnny needs some Miyagi-Do in his life. I don't know about that. Daniel is so just irritating and aggravating. He might need a different kind of karate, a different karate friend. Because Miyagi-Do didn't seem to do it for Daniel. 30 years later, and he's still holding the grudge of a lifetime. So it didn't exactly balance him out. Daniel's got everything you could want in life and has to just keep going back to this petty little rivalry. Just shows how little and small Daniel really is. Oh, but yeah, feel the Miyagi-Do. Get that balance in. I don't know. Are those kids going to work out? Are they actually going to become the tight crew and the new quiver? They won't be a quiver because they're not Cobras. But Miyagi-Do, I don't know. That's going to be a big battle. I can't wait to see the next All Valley Championship. But won't those kids be over 18 by then, so they won't even be able to get in that tournament? They're just going to have to brawl it out like old school, Japan style. Get out on an island and battle at last man standing. Oh man. But yeah, I think I'm hearing his buddy and how his buddy loved Allie, but Johnny struck first may get him in the mood to strike again with another lover. I think Johnny's gonna that's gonna be one of his first things after he gets over the mourning of his buddy dying. I think he's definitely gonna try to get back on that love train and find another one to kind of keep his head straight and somebody to care about. Johnny and the boys shouldn't be too sad. I mean, their friend did. I mean, he didn't die alone in some dreary hospital. He like literally got to get out, have a great last weekend with his boys, having fun, and then basically passed away in his sleep out in nature. So I don't know. That seems like a pretty sweet way to go to me. If you're going to exit, I can't think anything too much better. So wasn't really a sad passing. Great way to go, and nothing wrong with that. Oh, King of the Mountain, last man standing. Let's do it. Fucking Miyagi-Do against Cobra Kai. Who's going to get it? I can't wait to see because obviously they brought the girl in. So, you know, Tori with the Y and Sam are just going to get their battle on. And I think Sam's going to kick her butt. I don't. Sam can't lose that. She might lose the first one if they really Hollywood trope it, make her lose the first one and then come back and win the second time around. But I don't know. Sam's pretty dope. I think Sam's just going to wax that Tori with the Y before it's all over. And then when I was actually looking for my own, because yeah, it's weird. My thing didn't pop up either on my own thing. I actually had to search it out. And when I was going through the thing in YouTube looking for my thumbnail, I freaking saw another thumbnail. I was like, shit, there's kind of a spoiler. So I see something bad happens to our boy. I was like, that kind of sucks. But we're getting there. This is episode 5. We only got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to go. So, or this is episode 6. So we got 7, 8, 9, 10 to go. So I'm sure we'll be finding out soon enough. How many episodes is in season 2? It's 10, yeah. So, yep, we're over halfway there. Now we got 6 done, so just 7 through 10 to come. Like I said, I'm going to be doing 1 a week, and that should run us in. We might have 1 week off over Christmas, the Christmas, New Year's holiday, somewhere in there. And then, yeah, I'll be back on track, and it should run us right into season 3. So that'll be tight. Yeah, that's it, J. Cruz 10. J. Cruz held it down in fantasy this week. Not bad, not bad. Did a good job. Not as good as some, but you did good. That's awesome. What happened to our boys? Miami went down. We're gonna have to talk about that on the next stream. But yeah, that's basically Take a Right. I do not understand why they called this episode Take a Right. I mean, I'm still trying to figure that out. I've seen the episode twice, and there's nothing about Take a Right. I mean, there's no directions being given. I don't think. I don't remember anything. So yeah, it's crazy. Are you guys gonna start The Boys soon? We were supposed to start last Wednesday, but that didn't quite work out. So, yeah, we're going to have to, I don't know, I'm going to have to figure something out because, yeah, I'm definitely ready to get going on The Boys, dude. That's one of the greatest. I love that. I love that series. So, yeah, I'm definitely ready to get up and running with The Boys. So, yeah, one way or another, we're definitely going to get that started. Morningstar for sure. But, yeah, The Boys is my ish. I love it. Oh, hi, yeah, man. I put up those points this week. I told you guys I was on a steep learning curve. It never takes me long. I'll figure it out quick. If I'm in it, I'm going to figure it out quick. Losing is not an option. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Oh, man, definitely. Yeah, definitely give me another week to kind of catch up and try to watch a couple episodes of The Boys. I'm telling you, dude, the first 6 minutes is epic. I love it. It's just some of the greatest first 6 minutes of television ever created. Absolutely dope. What's up, Iron Tron? I see you out there. Happy birthday coming up soon. Hope everybody out there has a happy holidays, gets plenty of food, and can do what you do with all this crazy restrictions they got going on this holiday. Some people like these restrictions, so either way, one or the other are going to be good. The Boys or The Voice? That's awesome. I have never seen The Voice. I've never seen a Dancing with the Stars. I've never seen America's Got Talent. I've never seen American Idol. I've probably seen on 2 different episodes. I've probably seen like 3 minutes of American Idol. Never seen Dancing with the Stars. It's so weird. Like all those mainstream shows, I've never seen literally more than 3 minutes of, which I very much love. Never seen more than 3 minutes of the Kardashians, anything. Like, yeah, I love it. Just never been on that, like, mainstream stuff. I don't know. Just not for me, man. But The Boys and some Cobra Kai, all up in it. Love it. Oh, yeah. Yep, Iron Throne. A lot of people do see it that way. That is for sure. That is for sure. Yeah, it's crazy. I was actually supposed to go. My sister wasn't going to be able to go because some things going on with her and her immediate family, and my sister actually works in a hospital. But yeah, that's not even part of it. But yeah, it's crazy. I was actually going to go, and now I'm thinking maybe I won't go because now I'm scared. I mean, last thing you ever want to do is get your parents sick. So yeah, it's so weird, so weird. Crazy times, crazy times. But thank good for the YouTubes and the internets and the Zooms and the Hangouts, and hopefully this modern day digital age will get us all through it, and we'll be back on track next year the way it should be. Very few reality TV. Yeah, I've never been into too many of the realities. I watch. I actually watch Project Runway with my girl because she loves it, and me and my girl watch Top Chef. Those are the two reality shows I watch. Those are literally the only two, I think. Used to watch Pawn Stars. That was basically a reality show, but I haven't seen that in over a year. But yeah, that's about it. Top Chef and that's Top Chef and Project Runway with my lady. That's about the only two things I ever watched, reality show wise. I just not into it. I do kind of want to watch the Mask or the Mask Singer or whatever that's called. That looks kind of funny. Like I could see that being kind of entertaining, but just too busy with all this other stuff. And you know what I've been watching a lot lately of is freaking the epic rap battles. You guys, I know you guys have had to have seen those, the epic rap battles. Those are amazing. Like the one against George R. R. Martin and R. R. Tolkien. I mean, come on. I've seen that so many times. It's so funny. Then they got the one with Stan Lee against Jim Henson. Like, they're amazing. Sick Pickers, I haven't seen them in a while. Sick Frank and something Wolf. Frank and something Wolf. I can't even remember the guy's first name. But yeah, I've seen a few Picker shows. That one's basically the same thing. American Ninja Warrior. You got to see, that's a good one. American Ninja Warrior is always fun. That's just fun to like put on in the background when you're not really paying attention. Just kind of watch it here and there and just go on about, doing your chores or whatever you're doing. Oh yeah, I don't remember. They had a couple of ones that made motorcycles. I never really watched any of those, but yeah, Pawn Stars was legit. Like the first 6 years that was out, I was all in. I saw every episode and then kind of fell off of that one. How many of you guys watched Cobra Kai like the first time it was around? Like, did you get that YouTube Red and watch it right away, or did it kind of take a year? I mean, I'm literally like, this episode I just talked about is where I'm at. I haven't even seen the end of the season yet. I haven't even seen episode 7 yet. So yeah, it's that way I can talk about it and guess stuff and try to figure stuff out before it actually happens. So that's actually a cool part of it. But it is. I love this show. It cracks me up for the most part. It gets like I said, it walks right up to that cheesy line a lot. And usually they back off right in time, but there's a couple times they fall over where it's like, come on, what are you doing? Watched it all day to when it dropped. Oh yeah. You watched it all day too when it dropped. Samuel Morningstar was on it. Wow. You got to see it instantly. That's amazing. Yeah, that was like, what, 5 years ago when it very first dropped? But then how long did it take after season 1 was done? How long were they out before they put up season 2? You know that? I didn't have YouTube Red itself, but it was free with the Google Music subscription. There you go. Found a loophole. That's how you do that. Make it happen. First day it came out, binged the whole season. See, there's a man after my own heart. It's like, dude, you're going to do it. Do it. It came out. Let's get it in. Wow, it was 3 years from season 1 to season 2. That's a big jump. That's crazy. I like how this season, how they're really kind of going back. Like, I like this. That's the one thing I did like about this episode, how they brought back all the old school guys. That was pretty cool. That was pretty awesome. I liked it. Well, right on. May not get back on here again and do a little happy hour and just BS, but that's going to do it for me. This is perfect. Keep it right underneath the half hours. And, for a half hour show, I don't want to go too much over that. So I want to thank everybody for showing up. We might be back here tomorrow. Probably not going to be here tomorrow doing the boys, but the boys will be up soon, and we'll definitely be back up and running this Saturday for fantasy. So you guys have an absolutely epic rest of the week. Until we see you next time, be easy.